Welcome back to another episode of Aptera Reboot. Oh boy, I know it's been a long time since the last one. One of the reasons why I haven't recorded anything in a while is that I work in logistics and it's been extremely busy pretty much up until this week. It's been extremely busy with backlogs, catching up to a whole lot of backlogs in the holiday season. So it's been very busy for me. That's just one of the reasons why. And the other reason why is because really there hasn't been too much as far as content I could be creating for Aptera. As far as what I could see, a few other channels are producing content for Aptera, and I didn't feel like I was adding too much to it. So I didn't really have too much time to create content, and two, the content that was being put out by other channels was pretty adequate. And for me, I didn't want to just create content just for the sake of it. Like I've always said, I'm not really a YouTuber, and creating content, if you haven't done it yet, it takes a while especially this kind of content, it takes a while for you to go and basically research some of the stuff that you want to talk about. I'm not an engineer, I'm in logistics, so a lot of things that I want to talk about are things that I need to learn about first. So it takes a while to understand certain concepts, like if I want to talk about batteries or aerodynamics, etc. It does take some research to understand that. Then comes the editing. I'm a one-man band, so I create the content, put together the video and the audio. So it takes a while for me to create all this stuff. So like I said, it's been very time-consuming, and with me being very busy at work, it's not been a huge priority. I'm still a big fan of Aptera, and I still very much believe in their mission. I definitely want to see them succeed. What they're doing is actually pretty amazing still to me. Going forward, I kind of want to create more loose content where I just more or less talk about, what's on my mind. I don't want to do too much editing. So it's going to sound more raw than usual. That's fine for me. Like I said, I'm a fan. So if you enjoy this kind of content, I hope you do. I hope you keep coming back to it. If not, then I understand. It's just going to be a little bit different. Also, something I've been pondering is, one thing I do like innovators. I like finding companies who are doing very interesting things, very cutting edge things. So there's a chance that I might rebrand the channel so that I can cover more than just Aptera, or I might just decide to create a separate channel to cover other projects that I find very interesting.
So you tell me, do you think I should rebrand the channel so I can create more different types of contents, or just focus simply on Aptera? Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about that.
With that being said, this week, it looks like there's new information coming out of Aptera. Really, for the last 6 to 8 months, what I've seen Aptera doing is more or less building up their team as well as fundraising. So I'm hoping to have some time to go over some of the hires that I've seen them make and kind of understand what they're trying to do. Basically, what I've seen is their focus has been on building a team. And if you have not gone through the process of building a team yet, it takes time to not just to find the right people, but also getting them to work well together. It could be a pretty big challenge, So it's not just finding the talent, but finding the talent that can work well together. It takes a while for the team to become cohesive. Now, we've all heard a lot of OEMs talk about a lot of issues they're having with the supply chain, causing manufacturing backlogs. And I'm pretty sure Aptera is working through some of the same problems because, of course, since they're still in their design phase, they still have to figure out which parts they're going to need, who to source them from, and what quantities they're going to need, and what the time frame in which they're going to need it is. So all that takes a while to coordinate. And also, not to mention that these different suppliers already have firm commitments to other companies. I'm sure they're going to focus on their clients that they already have existing commitments to and work on new clients such as Aptera on a later time scale. I've seen the CEOs of Aptera speaking firsthand about some of the challenges that they're going through as far as the supply chain issues. But really, I think what they've been focusing on, and one of the reasons why the project seems to be pretty delayed, is that they're doing some redesigns. So a couple of areas where I see that they're working on redesigns are with their suspension system. We do know that recently they partnered up with Roush to work on the suspension system. So they want to make sure that they're providing you a car that's not just safe, but also gives you a great ride, a great feel when you get in the vehicle. which is very important because you don't want to be in a car, you don't want to be in a vehicle that feels unsafe or, it's a rough ride. The other part I believe they're working hard on is the safety aspect of the vehicle. One of the questions that I used to get a lot in the comment section is regarding whether or not this is a safe vehicle. Of course, we know that it's made out of composite materials, and a lot of people are concerned that, being that it's composite materials, that it would not withstand a car crash very well. As far as I can tell, this is something that the team takes very much to heart. They want to make sure that they provide the safest vehicle possible. They've showed some demonstration that the body itself is very, very structurally sound. But I'm sure they're working in the background to see what else they can do to make it even more safe. And it seems like, and based on what I've seen as far as their hires, that is definitely one of the areas where they are working hard to accomplish. That being said, I do think that there is a window of opportunity in front of Aptera that is slowly closing. There's still quite a bit of time for the team to put out a vehicle, but I do believe that 2022 is going to be a pivotal year for Aptera. If you take a look at the Aptera website, it looks like they are expecting to start deliveries beginning in 2023 to 2024. Well, let me be more clear about this. It looks like they're looking to deliver the Paradigm options sometime in 2022, followed by a production of as many Apteras as possible leading into 2023, 2024. Now, my order shows a delivery date between 2023 and 2024. I placed my order early last year, so sometime around January of last year, and it's the expected delivery date is sometime between 2023 and 2024. Personally, I'm hoping that it would be closer to sometime early in 2023 to mid 2023 at the latest, so spring of 2023 at the latest, but it might be as late as 2024. Now, I'm sure there are very good reasons for why they have those timelines in place. Most likely it has to do with their ability to get the parts that they need. And of course, they want to make sure that the vehicle is as complete as they can make it prior to production. At the same time, I got to be honest, I do feel like there's a risk. I do feel like a 2023 to 2024 delivery date is going to be a lot tougher for Aptera, being that, a year after year, we see that a lot of other manufacturers are getting into the EV game. And so waiting until then to start deliveries would mean essentially that they're competing with a lot more manufacturers. Now, of course, Aptera is very different than any other vehicle out there, being that they're going to deliver the EV with the longest range ever. And also that they'll have solar powered EV. So that being said, I still think that, for the average consumer, an EV that can get them 200 to 300 miles consistently would be acceptable. And so if you're going to have a lot of EVs competing in the $30,000 price range that can go 200 to 300 miles on a full charge, that will make it much tougher for Aptera to become a viable company. I do believe that it's very important that Aptera starts delivering vehicles in 2022. So I think this year is going to be a very key year for them. I don't believe they're going to deliver more than maybe a few hundred, possibly 1,000 vehicles. But I do think it's important to start delivering vehicles, having people have firsthand experience on. And again, it doesn't need to be perfect. I don't think. Actually, I think it's a bad idea for them to try to focus on delivering a perfect vehicle. I think they need to deliver a very good vehicle, but not necessarily, the best version of Aptera that it could be yet. I think that's going to happen probably in generation 2, possibly generation 3. But being that, the lead automaker, the lead EV maker right now, Tesla, is not going to be releasing any type of vehicle that's going to be sub $30,000. I think it's important for Aptera to get into the marketplace, start delivering some vehicles, and letting consumers see what their options are for under $30,000. And I think this is going to be a great option, a great offering, but it is very important that Aptera starts to deliver in 2022. I think by 2025, most automakers out there will start having their own vehicles, and you're going to have a lot of different options available in the $30,000 range. And it's going to be just a lot tougher for Aptera to break into the market and actually be taken seriously, considering that, there's going to be so many different options available at that point, that it's going to be tough for any new EV manufacturers to be heard over all the other options that are that will be available. So coming out of 2022, Aptera will need to start delivering to their customers, and in 2023 they need to work on basically starting to scale up their operation. I think again the demand is there. It's just a matter of them being able to produce a roadworthy vehicle. And like I said, yeah, I think they're definitely getting there. I really believe that they'll get there very soon. As it stands right now, Aptera is still on the alpha models, and they're supposed to have already produced some of the betas by the end of last summer. So again, we're about 6 months behind schedule. I think by the time they actually start producing the betas, we'll be somewhere around 9 months behind schedule. Most likely, it's going to be in the spring that they'll have the betas, and maybe late beginning of fall, we'll start hearing some information about production, possibly production being started in the fall. So maybe some deliveries in September, October, and into Christmas. But yeah, I mean, that's my thought for now about what's happening with Aptera. I'm wishing them the best of luck. I'm hoping to be able to produce more content. Again, it's going to be more loose because I want to be able to produce more content more easily. I don't want to take weeks or months to be able to produce content. But again, what I'm going to be doing is just talking, like giving you my thoughts on what's happening. And I'm looking forward to your feedback because I'm going to be wrong about some of this stuff and I'm looking to be corrected. That's perfectly fine. Share your thoughts with me. If you want to give me a call, that number is still available. If you want to hear me talk about a specific subject, please leave me a voicemail. I'll be checking in on those very soon and seeing what you guys have to say. So looking forward to the next episode, looking forward to reading some feedback, looking forward to reading some of the comments, and I'll see you next time.